Okie doke, folks, we're ready to go. This is 𝗤𝗏𝗫𝗫𝗫 with number 5 in this little series of 9 get-togethers where I talk about your photographs from the recent 5-day challenge. And that's for 20 minutes. And then I tell you about my masterclass for the last 10, and you can ask questions. So this is me, 𝗤𝗏𝗫𝗫𝗫. How are you doing today? Fine, I hope. Ready for some cool photo analysis of your photographs and 2 of mine. 9 of yours, 2 of mine. So, as I said, this is a warm-up for people doing the masterclass. You can join the masterclass. The last 10 minutes of this will be telling you about the masterclass, and you can ask questions if you like. The first 20, well, let me just show you when I say masterclass, this is the masterclass, smartphone photography masterclass. Wonderful, wonderful event. Really recommend you come along. And to get you in the mood, I'm going to look at 9 of your photographs. So let's go. Without further ado, I'm going to share a screen. And the screen I'm sharing looks like this. So I start with one of my photographs, and it's the photograph, if you see here, it's the photograph in the middle. Okay, 1 photograph per day. There's a kind of noughts and crosses game going on there, if you hadn't noticed. And who's going to win? And this is a photograph which I'm really fond of. It's extremely graphic, and I told you that each of these photographs has a teaching point. They were chosen especially. So I've done 4 already, and today's teaching point is, can you guess? It's about framing. Framing is a great device for highlighting your subject and bringing added interest to your photograph, making it stronger, punchier, more impressive. And this is, I think you'll agree, a pretty impressive frame within a frame. I was just walking down the road in Paris, the way I do, and I saw this dude, this guy, reading his book, little dog on the lap, kind of sweet, but he was in this beautiful, natural, found frame. When I say a found frame, I didn't create it. There he was. It was almost as though, I'm here, come on, take my photograph. So guess what? I did. And that was the result. I threw in an angle because you've got the frames of the photograph already parallel, and 2 of them are horizontal and 2 of them are vertical. So why? I mean, you could actually do that, keep it straight, but I like to have contrast. So my contrast here is exactly the same format of frame, square, because my photographs are square. It's one of my things, but I've made the angle. And it's got punchy colors as well, but that's another topic. Right, let's move on to your shots. Today is focusing on your day 3 assignment, if you took part in the 5-day challenge, and we're looking at portraits, and we're looking in particular at kids' portraits. I got permission from everybody to show their wonderful shots, and this is from Angela, although it's not Angela's daughter, it's my friend Daphne's daughter, my friend Despina's daughter, who is called Daphne, and she's such a cutie. Look at her. I think this is she's older now, but it's such a beautiful shot. I don't even know exactly what she's doing, but that's kind of part of the fun. Is she dressing up? Is she pretending to be a ballerina? We just don't know. We've just got this absolutely beautiful, natural smile. And she's not looking directly at the camera, which is good, actually, because as soon as that happens, yes, there's a direct contact between the viewer and the subject, but it's also fake. She knows her photograph's being taken. And there's something about shots where they don't, or at least they're not paying attention to it, which makes them stronger. Plus, the beautiful black and white. It's not a soft black and white, it's quite a harsh black and white, which makes it very, very punchy. Plus, for some reason or another, it's very grainy, and that gives it a beautiful feel as well. So fantastic shot there, Angela. By the way, if you do say hello, I won't talk to you until 20 minutes have gone, then I'll answer your questions and anything you've got. Right, so this one is very fond of this one as well. It's from Diane. Diane is going to be doing the masterclass starting on Monday, and you too can join us if you want. And I really like this. You might, for a snap, for a record shot that grandma might like to look at, she wouldn't be too impressed. Little Johnny here isn't smiling, isn't looking at the camera. He looks completely distracted. But from the point of view of a really good portrait, which says something about what's going on, it's great. Because look, you've got a bunch of people. They're all intently looking at something, and we don't know what. and it's not the camera. Okay, so we're not talking snaps here. We're talking something going on. It looks like a ball game of some sort. He's got his popcorn. The two guys you can see behind him are intently looking at the action or at screens. Maybe he's looking up at a screen to see what the score is, or to see the play on a big screen, you know, closer up. I don't know. And that's part of the point, isn't it? Here he is, this little kid. He's got his baseball cap. He's got his popcorn. He's set for the game. And it's pretty cool. Even the fact that he's looking off to the side, his face is almost cut by the side of the frame. But that gives a certain tension that you might associate with a game. You know, I'm looking this way. Oh my God, what's the score? Hey, what's happening over there? You know, his head is against the edge of the frame. Makes it all the more impactful, I think. And just a bunch of colors. I really like it. Nice one, Diane. This is 𝙤𝙚. And she's offered us, some beautiful black and white shots. Now, this is a soft black and white. Remember, in contrast to this, which is more harsh, this is soft, which is befitting of a beautiful lady. And she's taken it herself. Now, she's not looking at the camera. It's great. There's loads of things to say here. One is, I don't know where to start, actually. We have a whole unit on portraiture in the masterclass. Do we? We have at least lesson, maybe units. I can't remember. I'll tell you later. She's off to one side looking into the photograph, if you see what I mean. There's more for her to look into than there is behind her. That's nice. There's a reflection. That's beautiful because we get to see two sides of 𝙤𝙚. We see her nice long hair. We also see she's holding the camera, so that could be something you might want to avoid. But she's not looking at us, which is another good thing, because it looks like she's dreaming off or she's talking to somebody, and it's much more natural than if she's looking at the shot. When they're looking at the shot, it's obviously posed, or they know their photograph's been taken. And that can be okay. It can be wonderful. But it's a different thing when they're not looking at them. So that's wonderful. I really like it. Lovely, lovely shot. Very natural. Okay, let's move on to, I would say, a master of taking photographs of his kids, and that's Lorenzo. Lorenzo, I would say that the famous Lorenzo, because every time I say Lorenzo, I mention his book. So I'll do it again. Okay, here is Lorenzo's book. So he's a long-time photographer friend of mine, and he's taken photographs. He's written about them for many years, like myself, and he's got a knack for taking really cool photographs of his kids in a very natural positions, poses. Well, actually, not poses, doing their kiddie things. This one is really interesting as well. It's a very dynamic composition, I think. The background is fuzzy, which is nice. The focus is completely on his daughter. You would think, portrait, you want a nice smiling face, right? Wrong, because if you want a powerful portrait, I mean, it's not exactly a portrait, is it? But he knows it's his daughter. But this is the joy of kids. What do they do at the seaside? They discover things. They go on adventures. You know, you imagine she's found this jellyfish. Probably her dad said it was okay to pick it up because it's dead or something. I mean, I'm a bit nervous about it. And she's looking through it. She's probably having a great time. We don't even know what the expression on her face is. But the fact that she's found this jellyfish, she's holding it up. Maybe she's peeking through it, smiling or sticking her tongue out. We don't know. You know, adults, we get frustrated when kids don't go in the stupid smiley pose we want them. Let the kids be kids. The kid wants to completely cover her face with a jellyfish. That's the shot. It's not the one where she's pissed off because you've said 10 times, put the damn jellyfish down. You can get the smiley ones as well, you know. But this one is precious. It's more powerful in a way because it's the photograph the kid wants her dad to take, if you see what I mean. That's what I'm imagining anyway. So that's cool. That's really cool. As I said, first 20 minutes is photo analysis and appreciation. And the last 10 is me telling you about the masterclass. So I don't look at your questions until the 20 minutes is up, so as not to sort of detract from the flow, because I'm in the flow here. All right, flow continues with more black and white. And this is it from Diane? No, it's from Christina. It's from Christina. Beautiful black and white picture. Look at that cute little nose, cute little kiddie nose, delving into some toy box probably, because it's black and white, we've lost the element of color. On the one hand, you've lost the element of color. On the other hand, the photograph gets more powerful in a way because you focus on what the kid's doing, the expression, the play between the light and dark, the light coming in. And black and white photographs absolutely can be more powerful. They don't just have to be black and white. They could be monochrome. In other words, any tone, a tone of any color, but just that color. And again, she's looking into the box. We can only see her little nose, her eyes, head's covered by the fringe, mouth's covered by the box. This is a kid being a kid. And it could be a more meaningful photograph than one where they're standing smiling like for the school photograph. Her mum and dad will know what she's delving into. We don't. We can only imagine. What is it? Is it full of toy cars or dolls or, I don't know, Play-Doh? Or we don't know, do we? We can just imagine. That's part of the fun of it. And we can see she's surrounded by her toys and things. So that's beautiful. Really nice. Here's another one. So this is a more adult portrait. And it's a lovely, soft study of Laurel. Sorry, Laurel. Yeah, I wrote Lauren. It's not Lauren, it's Laurel. My Aussie friend, who will be doing the smartphone masterclass because she won a place on it. And I guess she took it herself. And there's a lovely tilt to her head. She's looking off to the side. Her head is resting on her hand. She's gazing away. She's got a beautiful, dreamy look in her eyes, and she's a lovely dreamer as well. So I can only imagine what she's dreaming about. Maybe she's dreaming about her retreats that she's planning in Australia. Maybe she's dreaming about members of her family that she'd like to see or that she's just seen. Maybe she's dreaming about the day I finally get round to doing my artistic project with her to help plant trees to give habitat and food to the koalas and the kangaroos and stuff like that that suffered during the Australian fires. What do I know? But anyway, it's a lovely shot. By the way, portraiture is a serious element of photography, and it's definitely covered in depth in the masterclass. And as a matter of interest, I will show you how to take portraits like this, even this very portrait, in a more flattering way. And I won't go into any more details, but this could be even more powerful quite easily with given certain elements. I always half smile when I say elements because 5 times out of 10 I say elephants instead of elements. So there's that. This one is Vivienne. I don't know how to say that in Greek actually because she's Greek. I wonder how you pronounce it, Vivienne. I say it in French, Vivienne, or maybe it's Vivienne. But anyway, it's her son and a dog. Again, a lovely shot because it's in black and white. He's not looking at the camera. He's doing something. He's sharing this moment, or his mum is capturing this moment of 2 loved members of her family, I presume, and they're together. Her son is showing emotion towards his dog. The mum is taking the shot, therefore there's obvious emotion from the person taking the shot towards the people in the photograph. And the dog is being a dog, but obviously the dog's perfectly happy and at ease on his young or her young master's knees. So it's an absolutely beautiful shot. It's also beautifully composed because you've got the son's hand is just in the photograph. I mean, this is me getting really technical, the sort of thing I would cover in detail. Tiny things like the edge of his finger is slightly chopped by the edge of the frame. Should we do something about that or not? But I'm not going into details here. The same thing for the paw hanging off the bottom of the shot. But that doesn't matter because you've got the paw on the knee. That's the beautiful element which draws attention. The hands are around the dog, and the boy's head is tilted, and it fits perfectly into the top right-hand corner of the frame. If you notice, his ear isn't chopped off. The hair is, comes in a little bit, and he's looking down towards his dog, and there's a kind of nice diagonal going from the top right to the bottom left. If you look, the son's head and his gaze leading you down as well towards the dog in the middle, the son's hand on his dog's chest, and the dog's pour on the son's knee. It's a beautiful diagonal of emotional contact there. Lovely. Right. Another black and white one, which I was really struck with, and this is from, I always check about this time to see if the microphone's actually working. This is from Claudia, and it's a fiancé, I think that's right. And what a stunning study in light, isn't it? Just check that out. It's light coming in from the window, streaming in. Behind, there mustn't be much light because his t-shirt has turned black. It's a quite a high contrast photograph, which makes it more powerful, more dynamic. It makes his activity, whatever it might be, more intense because of the lighting, nothing else. If it had been very soft lighting, it would have been a different feel. And you can see pictures behind him. You can see bottles and stuff. It's like a collection of bottles. He's working on his project, but it's the thing we're drawn to is the contrast, the outline of his face, because it's highlight. Is that a verb? It's highlight, highlighted by the sun, by the light coming from the window and the edge of his ear. That's all you need, and I think it's a very powerful portrait. So that's a lovely one to have captured. This is the middle one, according to my friend Cooley. So I'm kind of assuming there's an end one and another end one, or a little one and a big one, and this is the middle one. We don't get any more information than that. She said, no, that'll do fine. She doesn't have to, apparently doesn't have to try and work out who they all are. She just says the middle one, and then she's fine. Now, why did I include this? You might think it's getting close to a kind of a school shot type of thing. Well, I included it for several reasons. You know, I've always got things to say about any photograph you give me. Don't worry about that. In this show, they'll be complimentary. It's for friends only, where I maybe I'm not so complimentary. But yeah, so why include this shot, whereas it seemed quite a straightforward one? Well, he's not looking at the camera. That is nice. You know, it takes it away. It means there's something else in the photograph apart from him. We don't know. I mean, when I say in the photograph, he is looking at something and we don't know what. That adds a bit of interest. It's beautifully sharp and the background isn't sharp. Can you do that on a smartphone? Well, because most smartphones and any standard camera tries to get everything sharp. Okay, the sort of default setting is everything sharp. And then probably people will think it's okay, except not us, not photographers. We don't think it's okay. There's a million other things that make a photograph great, apart from everything being sharp. One of them is having the subject sharp and the background fuzzy, and they've done it. I'm not going to go into any more details than that, but just look at some of your snaps of your families. You'll find everything sharp. And that's interesting. Yeah, I'm so tempted to go on and on about it. I won't. The final thing I'll tell you is a bit of portraiture posing. So here he is with his arms, right? And he's got this fist here, and he's basically, it looks like he's punching himself in the chin like this. So this is something that this is going to get sexist, but a lot of ladies have their portrait taken maybe by someone who isn't a professional, and they'll have this. And to be honest, the back of the hand is not a beautiful thing to have in a beautiful, soft, romantic portrait of a lady. Let's say she wants that look. There's other ways of doing it. For a guy, fists, you know, they're kind of they represent strength and power and aggression and manliness, if you want to go down that route. So it's just a tiny thing that I'm telling you, that I'm giving you a hint of the detail you can go into in any particular topic of posing that you might want to, if you want to get into this a lot. So he's a young lad. He's got a strong fist there. Also, it's related to the thinking pose, you know, the thinker, Claude Monet's thinker, the famous statue. So there's all sorts of connotations that we can draw from to put into pictures, which which we might not realize. But if you want your portraits, for example, to be more powerful, there's many ways of doing that. He's quite straight on as well, which is a good strong pose for a lad, you know, a good straight on pose. He looks confident and he's got a lovely expression on his face. So that's that. Now the last one I'm going to do, as I always do, is another one from the collection. This one, which is part of the frontispiece I put, this one, it's one I've chosen specially to illustrate a photographic point. It was composition. This one is to illustrate something else, what I do every day. I publish a photograph every single day of Paris, and I'm nearing number 1,000. This is number 992. Can you believe that? 992 days in a row. I have published an supposed to be artistic photograph of Paris. And I thought it would be fun for me just to publish the daily one so that you can see that what I am able to churn out day after day. So this is the 2 days, and it's a pretty standard street scene, to be honest. But having said that, I would never publish something that doesn't have at least one artistic point of interest, something that interests me. And I was intrigued by this sort of square, this kind of almost a constellation of lights. You've got a traffic light, a light on the side of a building, a street light, and, did you guess, the moon. And I thought that's kind of cool. So I took it, and that inspired some words, which I will show you. And photography doesn't stop with photography. You got to do something with it. Once you've got the photograph, you've got to do something with it, right? You could just show it to people, or you could play with it and show it to people. We definitely look into apps, amazing apps on the camera, but the apps only work if the photograph that you've taken is good. You start with crap, it's going to be a crap photograph that you've applied apps to. So don't get me wrong on this. First, that's why there's a whole unit called Developing Your Eye. But you got to do something with them afterwards. It's a shame for them to sit in your camera or on your computer. So for example, one of the things I do is add words to them. And I do that every day, actually. So there you go. Right, so that is it for the photograph analysis bit. Now, for those of you who are interested, I'm going to give you 10 minutes on the masterclass. I'm going to acknowledge your comments. So we've got Yuriska, a very nice photo with the fresh air. Now, the problem is I've gone on from the photographs. Fresh air. Maybe it's this one you're talking about. Could it be? Thomas says, hello, everyone. And congrats again, Laurel, for winning. Yes, you won the big prize. Hi, Alice, says Susan. I wonder if Alice is going to say hi, Susan. Yes, she does. How about that? And Yariska says, I like the contrast of colors and the illusion of reflections as if there were several moons. Okay, now I'm guessing that is this photograph here. And finally, Alice says, your 100th anniversary is approaching. Yeah, can you believe that? I can't. In the past, a few years ago, I did another 1,000 days in a row series. And it was iPhone shots. It was smartphone shots. Right, way back when I first got my first iPhone. I think it was an iPhone 3. And I'm still pleased. When I look at them, I think, yeah, there was young Sab, you know, when he had more stuff on here and he was developing his photography as ever, and I'm still developing now. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so somewhere in the annals of history, there's another series of 1,000 photographs by me taken on a smartphone with the text. It's on an old blog somewhere. All right, so now I'm going to tell you about my other baby, the baby that's coming up. And I won't be offended if you disappear, if you've already booked on the masterclass. If you haven't, or if you're just watching, then fantastic. Thanks for joining me. I'm now going to tell you about some elements of the masterclass, not elephants, elements. And if you have questions, please feel free to ask. I'm here to answer them. So I'm going to kind of go through a little series of prompts so that I vaguely know what I'm doing. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is to tell you that there is a series of 8 testimonials, which you might be interested to look at straight away. If you're tempted by the masterclass, check out the testimonials. For some reason, they're way at the bottom, so maybe I should put them higher. But I've got these testimonials from people who did the smartphone photography masterclass in the spring. So it was the last time I did it. So check it out. It's fresh. And It's reasonably positive. And most importantly, it gives you a good feeling for what it's like to be a participant on the masterclass, not just me saying it's the best thing since sliced bread. Sliced baguette, I should say, I suppose. So check those out. Now, how does it work? Well, it kind of hangs around this wonderful mission statement, which I get you to agree to. Here it is. Because it's, I call it an experientified product. And that means you live the experience. You don't just watch a video, take some shots, post them, and you're done. It really is a community that gets created. And I think everyone will agree who did it on the last session. It's much more than just taking photographs, a real sense of camaraderie, of friendship, friendships that last is developed. Kind of the proof for that, I guess, I realize that about half the people who did it last time are actually coming back. So the mission, this is all part of the fun. The mission is to drive you and to motivate you. But don't worry, there's nothing to lose. You don't lose, but it's to motivate you. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to develop your photographer's eye, master your smartphone camera, and produce a superb collection of original photographs under 9 inspiring themes in just 9 weeks to impress your friends and be extremely proud of. This drives you through, and you are carried through and supported throughout the program. There's no problem with that. The guarantee that I offer is that you will produce what is stated in that mission statement. And if you don't, well, I work with you until you do, because I know that everyone has ups and downs in their lives. So that is not a problem. Now, let me just say, why would you do this masterclass? In other words, who's it for? Well, first of all, it's for people who are passionate about photography. That could even include professionals, that want a different point of view, because I've been doing this for a very long time. And I always check out what other people who do it professionally are up to. So there's no reason why you couldn't do that. It's for people who are passionate about it or know that they would be passionate about it given the chance, given the time. If they gave themselves the time, they wish they could go deeper into it. So it's definitely for that. It's for people who love this. It's for people who want to make the most of their smartphone. We've got where's it gone? I was going to say you always have it on you. It's over there. To make my point slightly more strongly, we always have this little beauty on us, and we forget, or we don't even realize that the cameras nowadays, this tiny little camera here, or 2 of them, or 3 of them, if you're lucky, is really, really good. We're not talking crappy little, grainy, pixely shots. We're actually talking shots which on the computer, viewed on the computer, can definitely rival something, with all the buttons and everything. It definitely can. And to be honest, it can go further in some ways. To each device its strong points, but it can go further in some places, in some cases. You want to make the most of it. And you want to understand it. You want to understand the apps as well and how to use those. You want to express yourself creatively. Creativity is at the heart of my being, the heart of what I do. My mission here, I've decided, is to help people be as creative as they possibly can, as they would love to be in their lives. Because I believe fundamentally that creating stuff is a wonderful way to lead your life. And what do you do with creativity? You create things and you share them. So it's about communicating. It's about connecting with other people as well. So that's wonderful. And it's because you'd like to have a really stunning collection of photographs, and you get that. For example, you get a photo gallery when you do the masterclass. You get your own photo gallery. And I'd like to show you very quickly what the homepage, no, that's not it. Show you that in a second. What the homepage of the photo gallery looks like now. Maybe I'll change it. It looks like this. That's the top of it. And you have your own photo gallery. So for example, here's Dorothy, and you get your picture and everything, and you get 9 pages actually, because there's 9 themes. So there you go. It's not a standard self-portrait. I wouldn't expect a standard self-portrait from people who do my classes. Just going to make this a little bit smaller. So you get a gallery like this. This is on a sort of a nature type theme. And you can see she's pulled together a lovely collection of photos, but it's not any old nature. You can see she's specialized, or she's focused on trees. And it's up to you to choose. I can give you big themes, but the themes are often open for you to choose more specialized sections within them. Dorothy loves trees. She's taken a lot of shots to do with trees. But you see there's other clever things in there. You see there's playing with shadows on the left there and shadow on the right as well, nicely balancing. So it's not just one topic. As you go through the masterclass, you build. So you'll notice that your later assignments are more sophisticated than your earlier ones. And you will be tempted to go back to your early ones to apply some of the techniques that you didn't even know existed, and to make your earlier portfolio submissions better, and you can. All right, that was, so here's 𝗤𝗏𝗔𝗔𝗏, another stunning self-portrait, check that out, as I would expect from my students. And this is portraits. It fits in nicely with today, and you can see she's taken a lovely collection of different types of portraits. Most of them are black and white. You've even got double exposures in there. You've got looking at the camera, you've got looking away from the camera. It's really a lovely collection that she can be proud of. And the last one I'll show you is 𝗂𝗎𝗓. Well, I don't need to say anything about this self-portrait, do I? And she has a beautiful collection of geometric shapes, which is a really interesting topic. So there you go. There's an example of the sort of galleries you can end up with, for sure. And nearly at the end here. Yeah, look at the testimonials for sure. And a peek at the program. Let me give you a quick peek at the program. I'll do it two ways. I'll give you a peek at the program here. Module 1 is an introduction. It's 1 week, very nice introduction to photography, but you will be taking photographs from the word go. Don't worry about that. Module 2 is about your camera and camera apps, right? So it's the basics. You get used to what photography is, how the camera works efficiently. So it's like an extension of your own arm or hand, and the apps. There's a whole week on apps. Everyone loves this module. There's a week's break. Then there's module 3, which it fills your toolbox full of all the best techniques, compositional tools. You learn about light, everything you need to be able to take really competent photographs that really strike you when people look at them. Then you have a week's break. There's 3 weeks, week's break, 3 weeks, a week's break, 3 weeks. It's all done to make this program very, very doable. Module 4, this is I was going to say the heavy stuff. It's the deep and meaningful stuff. It's where you go beyond. It's an advanced level thing, but it's in the masterclass. It's developing your eye. It's the thing I can't teach you, but I can help you to find your own style, your own photographer's eye. And everything is in there to help you do that. It's where you put emotion into your photographs. Module 3 with the compositional elements, sure, it gives you all the clever techniques, but where is the soul? Where is the heart? You discover how to do that in module 4. Module 5, it's just 1 week. It's relaxing, calming down, congratulating each other, getting your exhibition ready for your exhibition. Your exhibition can be done to the group. It can be done to friends in your living room, or it can be an exhibition of photographs in your town hall. It's entirely up to you, depending on what you want. There are bonuses. I'm not going into them. I'm just saying there are really nice bonuses here. And it's for you to look at the page yourself. You know, by now, I'm assuming you know more or less whether you're interested in this course or not. You've seen what's in it, how it works, more or less. You see what I'm like. And then it's up to you. There are questions and answer sections here. You've got your personal success guarantee. You've got your testimonials. And I just wanted to quickly show you this. And this is the program, except I've blanked out the names of the individual trainings because I want that to be a surprise. So you've got what is photography? Week 2, understanding your camera. Week 3, discovering photo apps. Week 4, exposing your subject. Week 5, shadows and light. What is photography without light? Week 6, you continue to fill your compositional toolbox with some fantastic techniques. Week 7 and 8, it's the deep and meaningful stuff, seeing the invisible and letting creativity in. It's the cherry on top of the cake. And icing on the cake, cherry on the icing, I don't know. And module 5 is only 1 week, putting it all together. Now, this is an experientified product, and I have incorporated every possible element I could to make sure that this is motivating. You're never left behind. For example, it goes 1 week module, then there's a 2-week module, then there's a week's break, then there's a 3-week module. That's the longest module. It's the core of the program. Then there's a week's break, then there's a 2-week module, then there's a 1 week. So it's like you reach the top and then it's freewheeling as you go down. The week breaks, the 2-week breaks are either you catch up on stuff you haven't seen yet, you practice things in more depth that you're dying to go into more depth on, or you do nothing to do with photography at all. It's entirely up to you. And yeah, so it is a, when I say it's experientified, it's an official thing. You know, it follows a format which incorporates all sorts of experiential learning, and it's going to be even more this time. The guys who did it on the first course experienced a lot of it, but not all of it. On this time, you're going to experience all of it, including a fantastic membership site where you do your training. And I have one more thing to say to you, and that's that you're put into pods. That was for the certified experientified training. You're put into pods. In other words, you're with other people that you can support each other with. You have a different pod each module. So you get to know the other members of the course outside of the live Zoom on Saturdays. There's a live call on Saturdays where you discuss the training. We talk about photographs. We're all together. It's really beautiful, wonderful time. But you're also in pods. It might be with 2 or 3 other people. And this is how you support each other for your weekly assignment. It's just great. I won't go into any more detail. I'm trying to keep this to 35, well, half an hour. So I'm at 36 minutes. So I didn't succeed. But it's incredibly fun and enriching, and I would like you to join me. And to join me, you need to go somewhere. Where do you need to go? You need to go to this place, infinitecreativitynow.com/masterphoto. And you can just catch the early bird price. Just get it. It's about to finish this weekend. And I hope to see you there, very much so, indeed. I've got Susan, who's saying, are the classes daily or weekly? So Susan is doing the course. Susan is doing the course. Dorothy is watching, saying heart eyes, heart eyes. Susan, if you look at the program here, you can see there is a training on day 1 of a week. There's a day 2 training. It's a Wednesday. There's a day 1 training is Monday. Day 2 training is Wednesday. Day 3 training is Friday. Okay, so there's 3 trainings per week. And on the Saturday, there's a live Zoom, which is recorded, which you can, where we share about what's gone on in the week, our photographs and everything. And the recordings, the modules are recorded. So, you know, you watch them when you want. Ideally, you watch them on the day that they become available. But as soon as they're available forever, including after the masterclass. You know, you have this content forever. Well, as long as I'm around. As long as as long as I'm, you know, active on the internet. And that's it, folks. Oh, I see. Susan says, watching from my phone and couldn't read the small print. Thanks. Yeah. Always read the small print. And that's it, folks. So thanks again. And I will be doing another one of these today, later on today, I think, because I've got to get through another 4 before the masterclass starts. Hope you're enjoying them. If you're not on the masterclass, do join me. It's not too late, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye, folks.